Here, for those who can't read it, on this side is the initial letters of the 10 tribes that Moshe blessed in this chapter. So then, the Resh for Reuben, the Yud for Yehudah, the Lamed for Levi, the Bet for Benjamin, the Yud for Yosef, the Zayin for Zebulun, Gad, Dan, Naphtali, Asher. But when he spoke to Yehudah, he spoke to those of Shimon's side. When he spoke to Levi, he spoke to those on the bad side of Shimon. When he spoke to Yosef, he talked about Ephraim and Manasseh. When he spoke to Zebulun, he spoke to Issachar. So that's why there's a letter next to some of these, okay? Moshe spoke to 10 tribes to represent the 10 sayings in which creation was made and the 10 commandments. The first commandment is, I am Yahweh, Yahweh Ehad, the Elohim of the beginning, like we see it there, the original Elohim. Like the Resh in Reshit, beginning. What is the beginning of wisdom? To fear Yahweh, like the only Elohim. So then, I am Yahweh is the first commandment of all. Also, Yahushua revealed it to us. Also, with this, there's many opinions. In Judaism, there's many opinions with everything. In this case, with 10 sayings, there are two ways of seeing it. Some take it how I will show it here, and I put it like this to avoid critics. The other opinion is that they begin. The first saying is, in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Bereshit bara et Hashamayim et Haaretz. That would be the first, but actually it doesn't show, and Elohim said in the beginning. So it's taken as Yahweh read it without saying it, and Elohim said. So there is opinion that says the first saying was in the beginning. The other opinion is when he said, Elohim said. We're set? I chose that one so it can remain simple to verify in case you want to do it later. We're set? I chose that one so that it would be easier to explain and to verify, but you can also make connections with the other way. We're simply going to make it this way. If you go to the first chapter in Genesis and look for the words Elohim said, you will find exactly 10 of them. So by saying it like that, we can take those 10. In chapter 2, it appears 2 times. One, as Elam said, and the other Elohim said. That number 11 of Elohim said is included, connected with the 10, like we will see it in a moment. Curiously, Resh is the last letter of the word Or, which is light. And Yahweh said, let there be light, let there be Or. Resh is the last in light and the beginning and the first in the beginning. In the beginning, he made the light. And the light, henceforth, is the sun, meaning of Reuben. Yahushua said, I am the light, I am Yahweh, I am the light, henceforth the sun. Second, you shall not have any other Elohim before Yahweh. You shall not have idols, images, which is like contrary to the previous. There is only one, so they should make another one connected with Yehudah, because Yehudah is the manifestation of Yahweh, the one. There is no other besides Mashiach Yahushua. We're set? There is no other. We shouldn't have images. How curiously that they made an image of Jesus. Then that is not Yahushua. That is the one we shouldn't have, an idol. What did Yahweh do in the second saying? And Elohim said, separate the waters from above from the waters below and make a firmament in the middle. The waters above are positives. The waters from below are negatives, like the sea that represents death. Yehudah are the waters from above. Shimon are the waters from below. Separated the waters in two. We're set? The firmament, like the Yud, that floats in the same sense that it's above the earth, on top of the baseline, like the firmament that is on top of the heaven, on top of the earth. The Yud floating. We got it? So then the Yud is on top of the baseline, like the firmament on top of the earth. And curiously, the firmament starts with Shamayim. Well, firmament is Rakiyah, but heavens is Shamayim with Shim. Waters and waters, like the 2 tribes. And one positive water and the other negative water. It's like me and me not having Elohim. Like in Deuteronomy 6 says, Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ehad. Listen, Israel, which can also be said Shimon, Israel, Yahweh, your Elohim, Yahweh is one. That's why you shouldn't have others. So then, Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ehad. Then comes Levi. That's when Yahweh said, gather the waters so that the earth comes out. So then, the earth came out like if it emerged out of the waters, just like the Lamed. Same as the lamed, is the only letter that ascends from the baseline. And what is a lamed? It's a vav on top of a kaf. It's a man standing, just like man could have been standing on top of the earth, because the earth was created through the third saying. And the Levi priesthood is the earthly priesthood. And when he made the earth, he made the seas, because he separated the waters so that earth could come out. At the same time, creating the seas, connected with Shimon, who is mentioned like an enemy, like the sea that represents death, where the water is of salt. So earth and sea, Levi and Shimon, and the commandment, you should not use the name of Yahweh in vain for falsehood. You do not change the name. You should not destroy the name. Like I said, some of Shimon, that's what they did. Also those of Levi. Levi and Shimon, priests and all those who were among them that were negative of Shimon, were the ones who killed Mashiach, curiously rejecting the name, rejecting Mashiach, rejecting the name of Yahweh, breaking this commandment. When it was the Levi who were supposed to bring honor to the name, then came the others and took it, because from Shimon there were scribes. The scribes changed the name, they took it. Earth and sea, the many and the nations, those that don't have the names, those that who do not pronounce the names and only focus on the law of Levi, earthly, making enemies thinking they are being heard. Benjamin, the bed represents a house, a place, a space. Like the land of Benjamin is where the temple will be placed. In the fourth saying, Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth vegetation, that earth vegetation be made as nutrition for man, and trees to give fruit. The son of my right hand, son of the right hand, like Yahushua is at the right hand and is the seed that causes the tree to come out. He is the root of Yahweh's plant. And the Shabbat, which is the day of rest. In the spiritual sense, it's the millennium in which the whole earth, the house, will rest. And man, like the vegetation, remember, the wicked will dry up and be burned, but the righteous will be by the river of waters of life, which is Yahushua. So then, we'll be able to stay in the house at the right hand of the Father during the millennial rest. And also, vegetation as a delusion to food. It was the first food that was given to us. What did we read in Romans? There are some that only eat vegetables and only separate one day. There are others that eat everything and separate every day because they understand that it's the same. So then, food and Shabbat directly connected. That's why we had to prepare the food the day before, like the manna. Remember? For the Shabbat. So the Shabbat is connected with the food. Then comes Yahusef or Yosef. One more time. From all of them, Yud is the same as Yehudah. First and last, two Yuds. The letter that is floating over the baseline and is connected to the saying of Yahweh, where he says, let there be luminaries in the firmament. The firmament, Yud, luminaries, Yud. Is that clear? In this case, Yud represents the sun, son of justice, the last, who is one of the luminaries. The other luminary is the moon, who represents, in this case, Ephraim and Manasseh, sun and moon. Ephraim, son of justice, and moon, because it's a bit smaller in the sense of light, like Manasseh. And curiously, the moon is at night. In the night represents the forgetting. Manasseh is he who causes to forget. The night, because of the lunar calendar, they won't know when the feasts are, etc., etc. So then, the luminaries, sun and moon, that's why there are two tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh, when speaking of Yosef, like the witnesses that are on the firmament. And what is the commandment? Honor your father and mother. Honor your father and mother, because the father is like the sun and the mother is like the moon. And Yosef, curiously, because he was sold, he couldn't honor his father and mother very long until the end. Well, just his father because his mother had died. So then, it's also curious how it connects there. And how the last comes as the son of justice to give the light in the beginning. Then comes Zebulun. Yahweh said, let the sea bring forth fishes and birds that fly in the firmament. Zebulun is in charge of the sea to work it, to bring fish. And Issachar was put in the mountains in high places to study the Torah, the revelation of heavens, like the angels, like the birds. So then, may the waters produce fishes and birds, Zebulun and Issachar. The commandment, you shall not kill. You shall not kill. From here on is where the living creatures appear, living beings. Let the waters bring forth living beings. The term living being is used for man. So you shouldn't kill living beings. Yahweh told us he would make us fishermen of men. Fish. Then comes God. God, the beasts were created. We see that God the false Elohim, is where the beast comes from, the world leader. You shall not commit adultery, idolatry, to idolize the calf, the Lord, the beast, God. So then, you shall not commit adultery. The people make a pact with Yahweh but end up worshiping God. They end up committing spiritual adultery, following the beast by following God. Now, how curiously, Gimel is a foot, a movement, like the one who follows another doctrine of a harlot, walking to commit adultery like a beast, right? Like the beast, they would put idols over the beast so they would carry the idols, walking them like the camel. It's a beast, Gamal. Dan, judge. And Yahweh said, let's make man in our image. Temut with a dalet. Man was made an image. And Yahushua is the image and likeness. Yahushua is the door, the letter dalet. So then, the letter dalet is a door. Yahushua is a door and is the image and likeness of man. Temut with dalet. You shall not steal. Remember, what does Judaism say regarding stealing from the Ten Commandments? It does not speak of stealing objects. It talks about stealing of people, kidnapping. So then, you shall not steal men. So then, you shall not steal. Connected with men. Also, clearly, it's man who steals. Even though the animals represent thieves, we can't say that the animals that do that are consciously doing it because they are doing it out of instinct. That is simply what they represent, like the eagles, the vultures, and the rest. So then, you shall not kill. Connected with man. The letter Dalet curiously represents the poor man. Don't steal from a poor, or the one who steals ends up poor. Then comes Nun of Naphtali, my struggle. You shall not lie. Don't lie. Yahweh said, this is my struggle with my people, that they don't lie. Yahweh says, the 144, no beguile was found in their mouths. Why? Because they confessed the truth, Yahushua HaMashiach. The Nun, the ones who fight for Yahweh. Naphtali are the ones who have the word, the seed of Yahweh. Another Nun, it's the seed. Because he is the seed, Yahweh said, multiply, fill the earth. No lying is connected with Nun, in the sense that Nun is a seed. If you lie, you are planting a seed of evil. That will bring negative consequences to your life. So then, it's better not to lie. Because if you lie, you end up fighting in your life. You'll end up having a struggle, Naphtali. And Yahweh's struggle with his people is that they preach lies. They invoke lies. And the lies multiply evil. That's why we don't lie. So it doesn't multiply the evil. In the positive sense, in not lying, you receive Yahweh's seed, who is Yahushua HaMashiach, so that the 144 multiply and give fruit. For last, Asher, the Aleph for Asher, curiously is the first letter of the alphabet, is at the end. Like many of the first will be last. The first will be last, last will be first. So then, here's the Aleph, Asher, joy. Also showing that the last month is of joy. Demonstrated end of times, Yahweh will give his joy to the chosen. The commandment of don't covet. You shall not covet. Curiously, when we get that commandment, it says you shall not covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife, your neighbor's donkey. So then, when it gets to don't covet, it begins to mention things we would covet. This is why I tell you, when we get to the saying number 10, we can include the sayings that follows. Because the 10 is, I have given you everything. So then, since he has given us everything, curiously, how we just seen it with the blessings at the end of the blessings, Moshe basically blessed all Israel. One way that they explain is that, why am I going to separate all the blessings when at the end Yahweh will bless us with everything good? So then at the end, he will give us everything, all that is good. That's why he fills us with joy from the beginning. So then, if Yahweh give us everything, why are we going to covet someone else's stuff? And after it says, I gave you everything, the following thing he says is, Elohim said, it's not good that man is alone. I will give him a woman. You should not covet your neighbor's wife. Do I explain myself? So then, we see that coveting, a few things are mentioned. And Exodus 20 is connected with everything that follows because of woman that is given to man. Also, we should always be joyful, Asher, happy. If Yahweh gave us everything, and through Asher it was said, for children I will multiply your children. Curiously, it represents when he received a wife. Only that way would it be possible to have children. Now, remember that all the tribes appear. Well, there is one tribe that doesn't appear directly. It is mentioned with one verb, Shimon. It is mentioned 2 times. I'm not going to count that one because the name doesn't appear directly. It appears hidden. The point is that Moshe, for some reason, obviously because the Ruach inspired him to do so, he only gave 10 blessings that connect with the 10 sayings of creation, the 10 commandments, and everything that has the number 10. But we know that there are 12 tribes. He only mentions 10 of them, doesn't mention Shimon. He does it indirectly. And afterwards, when he mentions Yosef, inside of Yosef, he mentions Ephraim and Manasseh. When he mentions Zebulun, he mentions the brother, Issachar. So then, there are various occasions where through the 10 blessings, he mentions other tribes. But for other reasons, he mentions the 10 principal ones. So then, the point is, I'm going to quickly say the meaning of the 10 names in the order that Moshe mentioned them to see the revelation. As we know, the significance of the names are very important. They give a revelation beyond what Yahweh is literally telling us. This is why Yahweh includes the names. And I'm going to say the significance of each name. He who was taken from the water to reign like Elohim in the place of thorns and fir, Sinai Seir. You can also say it as being surrounded with thorns like Yahushua, and be seen as a demon like the last, as a thief in the night, because Sheir was one of the Roman Edomites. So he was dressed in red like a Roman. That's why Sinai Seir represents the first and the last. So then, he who was taken from the water, who was resurrected to reign like Elohim, who came surrounded by thorns like the first, who came dressed as a Roman like the last, or would come Jacob, his supplanter, who is upright, Yeshurun. So then, the one who was taken out of the water to reign like Elohim, who was surrounded by thorns, and then, like a Roman, died to go to the place of Sheol, to be taken from the water to supplant, being the upright to reign like Elohim. These are the first names until verse 5. Now comes verse 6. That would be like confirming who is the upright one and everything we just saw. It starts with Reuben. Reuben means, behold the son. So then, behold the son, or look at the son that praises Yahweh, Yehudah, that is added or given a crown, Levi. Look at the son that praises Yahweh, who is given a crown, who is the son of the right hand, because Yahushua is at the right hand of the Father. And he will increase, Yosef, from the exalted place, the fortune of the judge in his battle, or after battling, will be happy. So then, that would be like saying it in simple way, only the names without explaining much. Look at the son who is the praise of Yahweh, who is crowned son of the right hand. He will increase is referring to the second manifestation, the second coming. He will increase to the exalted and will judge God when he fights against him, and he will be happy. We see God, the powerful one of this world, the last will battle against him to be his supplanter, like the name Jacob represents. And Dan is judgment. So then, it can also be said that the descendant of Yosef, who Yahweh will increase, will rise to the exalted place where God is, like judge of this world, and will fight against him, and then will be happy. Is that clear? So then, with these names, we can see the first and second coming. They came to become the praise of Yahweh and receive all authority, and then will increase the second coming to defeat the powerful one of this world and become the leader who gives the joy to the chosen ones. Now, if I take in account the names that are inside the blessings, it would be, behold the son that praises Yahweh, who is crowned or will be crowned through the test and the rebellion, being the truth and the light, being the perfection and the light, who came, the son of the right hand, who is at the right hand of the Father. Yahweh will increase. Yahweh will increase fruit or prosperity, and will cause that they will forget the evil, will exalt them, and will give them a reward, the fortune and the judgment. That's why Yahweh makes us kings and priests. He will give them as rewards the fortune and judgment, and through the struggle will be happy, or through the test will receive joy. What I do see in this case is that we can see positive or negative as of God. It can be taken as God, the false Elohim, who we have to take out in the end times, or it can be taken as God, the fortune that Yahweh will give to the chosen. That could make it to be taken positive or negative, depending on how we read the names. Is that clear? Last time. Behold the Son, Mashiach, who is the praise of Yahweh, who is added to the right hand of the Father, and he will increase fruit and will bring the forgetting of evil, who will exalt when God is judged in the battle of Revelation 12 to bring the joy. to those who are upright. Is that clear?